What I've done to make it less rare, to make it easier for you to be radically candid, is to name the quadrants where you fail on one dimension or another, with some emotionally charged language. So when you challenge directly, but you don't care personally, I call that obnoxious aggression. This is also known as the asshole quadrant, right? Now, the reason why I don't just call it the asshole quadrant is because it's not useful to write names in these various quadrants, right? It's not, one of the biggest problems that I've seen over the course of this election is what's called the fundamental attribution error, or, as I explain to my children, name calling. Don't use these terms to call other people names. Use them to guide you in your conversations with others, right? So don't be obnoxiously aggressive. Don't judge yourself, don't judge others as obnoxiously aggressive, but judge a conversation as obnoxiously aggressive and move it in the right direction. So those are the mistakes that you can make in either political discourse or giving feedback at work. Now, in order to motivate each of these quadrants, I'm just going to tell you a few quick stories. Next, obnoxious aggression. I will tell you, I will assert for the record, I'm not an asshole, but I do occasionally behave like one. And I bet all of you have just occasionally done the same thing. So this also comes from a time shortly after I joined Google. Amazing I lasted there as long as I did. I had a disagreement with Larry Page about an AdSense policy. And I wrote an email to 30 people that said, Larry claims he wants to organize all the world's information, but if it'll make us a buck, he's willing to create clutter sites that muddle the world's information, right? Not my most politically astute move. Worth taking a second to understand why I did it. I did it because I believe there's a special place in hell for people who kiss up and kick down. But it doesn't mean doing the exact opposite makes a ton of sense either, right? Caring personally is something that you owe to every human being you interact with, either at work or in life. So that was my foray into obnoxious aggression.
We've made it easier for you to give radically candid feedback by being really clear about what happens when you don't. And everyone's got stories like that.
And I just didn't like the guy. And so finally, he was in the middle of another disquisition about how much we should give up, and I banged the table and I said, dude, shut up. You just talk too frickin' much. So the effect was, the CEO who I was mentoring couldn't look me in the eye. I'd potentially torpedoed his company. The person we were negotiating with was deeply offended and left the room. The meeting blew up.